state in that particular way, most of them, and I'm tempted to say it in here as well, this is basically states with, often also with democracies that have clientelist tendencies. What is clientelism? It's basically a system that when you're in power, you have to reward those that put you in power. Now that can be through social programs, or that can be through jobs with the friends, and contracts with the connected firms, and jobs in the civil service. It could be all kinds of things. There's a whole series of it. Even in the UK, in Great Britain where I was working, we have all of these things, not just good things for the constituency, but connected people would have access to the state, and we would have these things as well. And of course, corruption often is a sign of that clientelism as well, that you're allowed to steal and get away with it. And then we have ideas, ideology, and I think I would not focus too much on that. I would simply say, what is the coalition of power? What do they want? Okay, where do I leave it then? Well, to have stability, you need some form of elite bargaining. You know, and we know this in societies that have violent histories, as you've had some worry about it in many Latin American societies today. You need to find a way of stabilizing. There's no economy that can grow. There's no inclusion that can really happen unless, as Max Weber originally said, you know, there has to be a monopoly on the legitimate use of violence somewhere nested. That's part of being a state. But you need to also, those who then control the state, what are they doing? What are the elites doing? And you need to then think about it. Now, where does development and growth fit into it? Well, the more we look comparatively at countries across the world, we appear to see very clear differences between the underlying objectives of the dominant coalition of the elite, more focused on growth and development and taking that into account, and others that couldn't really give much. And then you get like the Peru's, where it goes up and down a bit, and it's a bit unclear and a bit ambiguous at times as well. So basically, successful countries that I document, they seem to have, within the elite bargain, somehow a commitment to growth and development. Now, why would they do that? Why would the elites bother? Well, sometimes say, oh, because they love their country. I'm too old, too cynical these days to think that's just the only reason why politicians do what they do. Definitely the most senior ones and so on. But often, and that's an important driver, and I want you to remember that in a moment for the final points I will make shortly, it's often to do with looking for legitimate